Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the makeup of Türkan Şoray. This is such a beautiful makeup look. She's such a beautiful woman, quite possibly one of the most beautiful women who has ever lived. Now just a quick note before we get started. I am trying to get a sense of whether my followers prefer me to talk through tutorials or if you prefer just having music in the background with no speaking. I do have a poll up on my channel, so if you feel strongly one way or the other, go ahead and cast your vote, and when I get enough votes, I will make a decision what to do. If for some reason the votes are split 50-50, then I will try to switch off between just having music in the background and speaking through tutorials. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already prepped my skin with the L'Oreal Collagen Moisture Filler, and next I'm going to go in with the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation. This one is in the shade 4. This is great if you have olive skin because it has that earthy, yellowish, slightly green tint for those of us who have that olive color, which is much more noticeable when you look at my hands than my face. And I'm just using this small flat brush to move it around my face. And then I finish things off with a beauty blender because the brush can leave little strokes in the foundation that we don't want. Whereas if you just go in with the beauty blender to begin, you might find that all of your foundation is soaked up in the beauty blender and you have to use quite a bit more. Next, I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Shaping Stick. This one is in the color 412 Espresso. It is great for contouring. It does look quite dark when it goes on, but it blends very well and does not look so dramatic once it's all in place. I'm just using this to give the illusion of a more square jawline because she has such a beautiful face. The shape is, like I said, more square than mine. I'm a little softer, and I want to make sure to get that beautiful jawline and cheekbones. So again, I'm going in with this small flat brush. This gives me a lot of control as I'm just dragging out that line. And you can see I kind of go around my cheekbones and down. And this is just the initial blend. Don't worry, we will blend it more. On the jaw, I go down and blend that toward my neck. And then right up here, try to blend that right into the hairline so that we don't have a gap between our makeup and our hair. So now I'm going to grab my beauty blender and just finish off that blend. If you find you have trouble blending your contour in, you can mist your beauty blender with a little setting spray. I like to use the e.l.f. setting spray. And that little bit of moisture really helps to blend everything in. So now just to finish up the face, I'm going to grab my Kiko Skin Correcting Concealer. This one is in the shade 02. Quite a light shade, but I do like that contrast. It gives more dimension to the face and really makes it look like my bone structure is a little more dramatic than it actually is. And by making a dramatic contour just by using shades that are a bit lighter than normal and a bit darker than normal, it allows you to get a really beautiful contour without caking on a bunch of makeup, which might look nice under bright lights, but can often look quite unappealing in natural light. So a nice light concealer and dark contour that is well blended will take us a lot farther. Alright, so now let's move on to the eyes. Before applying any eyeshadow, I am going to put a bit of concealer on my eyelids just to help the eyeshadow pop and stay in place. I'm going to grab my Naked Urban Decay Wild West palette, and we're going to start with this nice light shade. This one is called Standoff. It is almost white, just slightly ivory, and I'm using a fluffy brush to apply this, just patting it all over that lid. Now I'm going to choose this color, Lorado. It's a smoky grayish color, medium shade, and I'm applying this right to my crease here. And if you have trouble finding your crease or putting the makeup directly in the crease, I suggest looking down, putting your brush right where you think it is, and opening your eyes, and then sliding it in the crease as your eyes open. It looks ridiculous to do, but it does ensure that the makeup goes directly in that crease. So now I'll flip back to my fluffy brush and give this a gentle blend. So now that our shadow is in place, let's move on to eyeliner. So I'm just grabbing my pure eyeliner. This one actually comes with a stamp on one side, which I seldom use, but the other side has this nice thick tip, and this really helps with controlling the brush as you move it along your eyelid. So I'm going to start in the inner corner here, and I like to use just slow little strokes. It does take a while, but it leaves a lot less room for error. And I'm just following right along my lash line. And then my bottom lash line as well. And once I have it all outlined, I will apply a slight wing. And this is really more to enhance the shape of the eye than to look like a wing, at least in the sense that we would think of a 50s cat eye. So now I'm just going to apply this to the other eye, and we can move on to the next step. So now, just using the same brush I did for the crease, I'm adding a little bit of extra color that's still clinging to the brush right under that bottom lash line. And now let's move on to the eyelashes. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara Base. And this is a great way to enhance your eyelashes without having to wear false lashes. You do just want to ensure that you let this dry completely before adding any mascara. Otherwise, the two will just mix together and the effect will not work. So as we wait for this to dry, I'm just going to quickly fill in my brows. I'm using the Ebin Secrets of the Pharaoh brow pencil. This one is in the shade Black Brown, and I'm going to fill in my brows and give them a little bit more of an arch than they do naturally, because her brows have such a beautiful shape to them. So I'm just bringing that line up over where my natural arch is, and just using short, light strokes. It looks crazy right now. And we'll bring that line back down. So we have a much more enhanced arch now than my natural sparse brows have. Now, since I'm still waiting for the lashes to dry, I'm going to move on to the lips. She often sports a nude, brownish, but still natural lip. So I'm going to use my Italia Deluxe lip liner. This one is in the shade Nude. It is, as you can see, a pale brownish color. This is probably my favorite color for a nude lip. And I've just gone right on the outskirts of my natural lip line. Nothing crazy, but do want to make those lips look a little fuller than they are naturally, just because her lips are so full, so beautiful. It's a big part of her look. So now to finish the lips, I'll be using the Kat Von D lip cream. This one is in the color Blossom, and again the color is almost exactly the same as the lip liner, just a tiny bit lighter. It has a beautiful, smooth finish. And after I apply it, I like to just take my finger and pat it over the lip. And this gives it what I find to be a more natural looking texture. It makes it slightly more matte than shiny. Now let's check on our lashes here. They feel nice and dry. So I'm going to use the Styla Huge Lash Mascara. And we want to make sure that we get a little more mascara than normal on these bottom lashes, since her bottom lashes are usually quite dramatic. And here we have the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And again, if you prefer the tutorials where I talk through or at least do a voiceover, please let me know by voting in the poll that I have on my channel. That way I'll just have a clearer idea of what everyone likes, and I can do more tutorials following that. And if you have any other requests or suggestions for what I could do differently, speeding past things, slowing down at other things, just let me know. I do love feedback. I want to make these videos as enjoyable and informative as possible for all of you. So just let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.